And again, today we're just undertaking the change of the ordinance, correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Yep. Yep. I'm sure I remember when we first looked at it, I remember what the building looked like and everything. I think we already had that discussion. So this is just bringing the two ordinances in line with each other so they make sense, essentially. So they're consistent between single building and then multiple occupants. It's essentially all it is.
Correct.
Yep. Okay. Any other discussion, commissioners? If there are none, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Romans?
I'll make a motion for the approval of the City Code Amendment 2021-21 on climate controlled storage as it's read in our handout here.
Okay. Commissioner Romans, do I have a second? Commissioner Hallberg?
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Hallberg on the second, and go ahead and take roll.
Okay. Commissioner Teichen,
Aye.
Chair Messina,
Aye.
Commissioner Best,
Aye.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Matzke,
Aye.
Commissioner Hallberg,
Aye.
and Commissioner Romans.
Aye.
Right. I will note, Mr. Chair, that recommendation for approval passes on a 7-0 vote. This will go to City Council for first reading on May 3rd.
Okay, thank you, John. And next on the agenda under other actions is the Wallen Partnership. This will be the final plat 2021-14 for the Wallen 19th edition, 13 single family lots, General Sieben Drive and River Shore Drive. John?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'll note that this is the final plat, hopefully, for this subdivision here. This is something that's been in the works for about 20 years here. A little bit of an unusual agreement that we have with the Wallen development. Back in 2002, we spent a substantial amount of time negotiating a master development agreement that would contemplate the development of this whole wider area here. Since 2002, there's been about 8 or 9 different phases of development that have come through that have led to the development that you see here. With that master development agreement, we established all the rules, and the developer prepaid all of the development fees at that time, so that when individual final plats were to come forward, that the only review at that point was really to the master development agreement and approved preliminary plat. And if those were consistent and those were alike one another, then the approval of the plat would move forward. And so this is what we're looking at tonight, the last edition of the Wallen. 2 areas, 14 lots altogether, one along General Sieben Drive and Brandlewood Court, which would be constructed with a number of lots surrounding it. And then another one over here near Oak Hill Drive, River Shore Drive in this location, another 4 lots. When you take a look at the plat that's before us today, this is the final plat showing the 9 lots on Brandlewood, the 4 lots down here at Oakwood and Woodcliff. And this is what we approved in 2002, which is the same scenario. Lot sizes are the same, number of lots are the same. And so we find consistency between the preliminary plat and the final plat and are recommending approval of this. I will note that some of the planning commissioners may recall that a couple of years ago, there was a proposal in this area to subdivide this into smaller villa home lots. That ultimately was something that was not supported by the city council. The proposal here is not that. The proposal here is consistent with that 2002 preliminary plat approval, the same number of lots and the sizes of lots that would be brought forward. So I can stand for any questions that you have on this. And I will note that I think we have a couple of representatives in the audience if questions are needed from them. Thank you.
All right, thank you, John. And commissioners, any questions? Discussion? It's pretty straightforward. Finishes off the addition. Consistent. So, if there are no comments or questions, we'll go ahead and entertain a motion. If anyone's ready. Commissioner Hallberg?
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve the final plat 2020-14 Walden 19th edition.
Thank you, Commissioner Hallberg. And second, Commissioner Tyken for a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. And John, call the roll.
Okay. Commissioner Romans,
Aye.
Chair Messina,
Aye.
Commissioner Hallberg,
Aye.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Tyken,
Aye.
Commissioner Matsky,
Aye.
and Commissioner Best.
Aye.
All right. I will note that the recommendation for approval of the final plat passes on a 7-0 vote. That recommendation will be brought forward to City Council on May 3rd. Thank you.
All right, thanks, John. And I want to thank our attendees for joining us tonight. I always forget because they're not in front of us. So I want to thank them for joining us tonight. If you're out there listening, we do appreciate it. So thank you. Other business.
Other business. Well, we've had a lot of activities, plats, developments that have been brought forward here. We had a larger planning commission meeting, I think, on the last time we met. Those actions moved forward to City Council. So at the City Council meeting, we had a number of things related to development that they approved. One of them was the number of parklets that in the downtown area. We're going to have about 3 or 4 of those with the first batch that was approved by council. They did approve that variance for the shoreland ordinance at 914 East First Street. So that one will be moving forward. They approved a couple of actions related to the industrial park, a couple of industrial park sales, one for another mini storage entity and one for construction of about a 5,000 square foot building for custom sawdust. So those 2 are moving forward. And then they gave the approvals for the villas at Pleasant and Heritage Ridge Second Edition final plat. So with the villas at Pleasant, we have the final plat Mylars. The fees have been paid. Grading is occurring, and they're going to be going full speed ahead on that one. Talked to the developer today, and the preliminary sales are looking good, and you'll see a lot more activity going on down there. With the Heritage Ridge development, we've got waiting on the signatures and payment of fees on that one. And they'll continue on with their second phase of development, which will be great. We also have a few other industrial park items as well that were before Hedra at the last meeting for 2 other expansions, a new building, a new expansion. One about a 50,000 square foot addition to Quality One Woodworking, and another 20,000 square foot building for Miller Electrical. So those will require site plan approval. Those applications should be before you here in the near future for your consideration as well on that one. So what we do with our Hedra is they will look at a concept plan and a preliminary sale, set the terms of that, and then go through planning commission and council on the actual site plan application. So we'll be seeing those in the near future. So that's what we have going on. I know at the next meeting we have scheduled in 2 weeks, we will be meeting. I have a public hearing scheduled already on that one for what's termed a motor coach commerce facility, which is down south on Vermillion Street, down by the arena. So we will have that application to consider at our next meeting in 2 weeks. And I'm not sure if there'll be other items at that point. So I know there was some questions asked at the beginning of the meeting here during our conversation as far as when we may be able to meet in person again. With that, I'm taking my cues from the city council at this point. I'm hopeful that in the near future, we will be able to continue meeting in person. I think we all will agree that it's a much more productive situation. Plus, we kind of miss the camaraderie a little bit too. It's interesting that we have 2 planning commissioners here now that I don't know have ever set foot in the council chambers, which is just a little bit unusual. But we hope that'll happen soon. But I know with the next meeting on the 26th, that one will be via Zoom. And that's all I had.
Okay. Thanks, John. And I was talking to John too at the beginning about the Hedra meetings. I've been able to catch the last couple of Hedra meetings. I highly recommend if you haven't seen one to go back and look at a couple of those, or at least watch them when you can before this meeting, because it really kind of gives you a platform and kind of an idea of what's coming in front of us. And it's very educational because it's the before us, kind of the prequel, and and you see what's coming towards us and kind of how it makes its way. through the different processes. So I highly recommend if you haven't had a chance to watch a Hedra meeting, either live or on demand. I think they're all online. Is that right?
Correct.
Very educational. Very educational. So that's all I had. Anyone else have any other business? Any other? No. Okay. If not, I'll go ahead and take a motion to adjourn. Motion, Commissioner Tyken.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
All right. Second.
I'll
Okay.
second.
All right. Commissioner Best on the second. John.
Okay, I'll take the roll. Commissioner Tyken,
Aye.
Commissioner Best,
Aye.
Commissioner Peters,
Aye.
Commissioner Matzke,
Aye.
Commissioner Hallberg,
Aye.
Commissioner Romans,
Aye.
and Chair Messina.
Aye. All right.
Thank
We
you
are
very much.
adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for